So I'm Grace.
And I'm Nick.
And we're from Austin, Texas. And we want to talk to you a little bit today about Struttin.
Well, you know, there's some questions that we've been asked to prepare answers to.
Yes, this is in preparation for Nocturne Blues 2016.
And specifically, they're a competition that involves 3 different dance styles, one of which is Struttin.
Exactly. So, first question, Nick, what's Struttin?
So, Struttin is a one-step blues dance, one-step meaning you step on every beat, that has a very strong, what we call down and out pulse. We usually dance to the songs that have a kind of a chunka feel to it, so chunka. And we dance it mostly to mid to high tempo blues music, at least as far as the scene would consider high tempo. For us, we're most comfortable around 115 to 140 BPM, but you could certainly dance it faster than that.
And what is the history of Struttin?
Well, our understanding is that it originated in Memphis, Tennessee in the 40s, and it was danced throughout the 50s as well. And then during that time period, it underwent some changes in evolution.
So we have specifically some classes that we teach which go more into what was done in the 50s as opposed to the 40s.
You know, speaking of this, though, what is our research? What is our research on Struttin, Grace? Like, how do we know this?
Well, most of what we know about Struttin comes from Damon Stone, who learned the dance from his family. But over the past couple of years, we've spent a lot of time developing an aesthetic that really works for us as a partnership and still fits within the framework of the dance.
Sure. We come up with a lot of like our own variations in both footwork and moves as well, and we think that they work.
Yeah.
And we like them.
Yeah.
So speaking of like fitting within the framework of the dance, what would you consider to be like the essence of Struttin? Like, if it does not have blank, it's not Struttin.
Probably the number one thing that I think about when coming up with my own variations and whatnot is the Struttin pulse. Nick was talking about the down and out pulse. So if it doesn't have that, if you lose the pulse, and the music is still calling for it, and there are of course breaks in songs when you don't necessarily strut the whole time, but you should, when you're strutting, have that consistent down and out pulse.
It's that driving rhythm in the music that we identify as Struttin music that makes us want to do the aesthetics that we feel are part of Struttin.
Functional aesthetics.
Absolutely, we're big fans of functional aesthetics. We also really like Struttin because we feel like, at least the way that we dance it, it allows for a very strong follow voice. And follows have a very strong influence, stronger even than in other blues idiom dances on the dance.
And specifically in footwork variations. So
and
we mostly see that come into play.
And some rhythmic changes as well.
Cool. Also, in terms of the essence of Struttin, we consider it to almost exclusively be danced in close embrace in a lean-to position.
So this is sort of a unique connection that we use in Struttin to make a lot of the footwork variations we use work. We'll go into it later.
All right, but if you are spending more time like out in closed position or a lot of time in open position, you're probably getting away from Struttin into something else.
We spend some time in open, but it's usually very snappy, like when we're doing like a quick snappy turn and then right back into close embrace.
Yeah, exactly, just redirections. Cool. And then what are some interesting variations within the genre of Struttin?
So we typically work on footwork variations, so different things that we can do with our feet, not patterns on the ground, but ways that we can land on the ground in different ways that keep the consistent pulse throughout.
Yeah, so we actually spend a lot of time developing the variations solo first and then seeing how can this fit within the framework of the dance.
Absolutely. Leads can also innovate through finding different patterns, drawing shapes on the floor effectively. We talk a lot about, typically top patterns like tacking or crab walking. But you can also grapevine and Struttin. You can also, like other forms of moving across the floor.
And of course, we mentioned the change in the timeline of Struttin in terms of what the focus was. In the 50s, having more turns, those snappy turns out into open position. So there's a lot of creative energy you can put towards developing new turns as well.
Absolutely. So this is also the point where we're supposed to dance and show you what we do. So
all right, let's do it.
Sounds like a plan.
And this is going to be to Birdleg, who's one of our local Austin artists.
One of the reasons why we enjoy this dance so much is that a lot of Austin artists play songs almost exclusively.
So good for strutting.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm checking up for my baby, find out what she's putting down. Checking up for my baby, find out what she's putting down. Now so many nights and so many days, I have been out of town. I didn't call home, and I didn't even write. I didn't call home, and I didn't even write. I called myself a anyway, for home at night. Checking up for my baby, find out what she's putting down. I'm checking up for my baby, find out what the girl's putting down. So many nights and so many days, I have been out of town. I didn't call home, man, I didn't even write.
All right, and that is what we consider strutting to be, and that's one example of us dancing it.
Yeah, just kind of randomly, so that's effectively.
Yeah, and we hope to see everyone at Nocturne Blues this year.
Yay!